almost see it. When I take a breath, you fill up my lungs. And if my mind works backwards just for a minute, I hold on to you before the memory's gone. I remember you, you left my spirit. With you high is all I'm feeling. Remember how we felt alive. I remember you, you make me stronger. Can't go without it much longer. Remember, remember, I remember you, you left my spirit. With you high is all I'm feeling. Remember how we felt alive. I remember you, you make me stronger. Can't go without it much longer. Remember, remember. When I close my eyes, I can almost see it. When I take a breath, you fill up my lungs. And if my mind works backwards just for a minute, I'd hold on to you before the memory's gone. I remember you, you left my spirit. With you high is all I'm feeling. Remember how we felt alive. I remember you, you make me stronger. Can't go without it much longer. Remember, remember, I remember you, you left my spirit. With you high is all I'm feeling. Remember how we felt alive. I remember you, you make me stronger. Can't go without it much longer. Remember, remember. When I close my eyes, I can almost see it. When I take a breath, you fill up my lungs. And if my mind works backwards just for a minute, I hold on to you before the memory's gone. I remember you, you left my spirit. With you high is all I'm feeling. Remember how we felt alive. I remember you, you make me stronger. Can't go without it much longer. Remember, remember. your breath, you fill up my lungs. And if my mind worked backwards just for a minute, I'd hold on to you before the memory's gone. I remember you, you left my spirit. With you high is all I'm feeling. Remember how we felt alive. I remember you, you make me stronger. Can't go without it much longer. Remember, remember, I remember you, you left my spirit. With you high is all I'm feeling. Remember how we felt alive. I remember you, you make me stronger. Can't go without it much longer. Remember, remember.
G'day, Roosters. Steve, if you can hear me, flick us a little thumbs up. It's been a couple of months, isn't it? So, might be a bit rusty on the old controls since we're a one-man band here. Anyway, welcome back, all you bloody good Roosters. Welcome back to the first Mancave session, 2025. New year, new rides, and a whole bunch of two-wheeled action to talk about. So grab a beer or whatever takes your fancy, and get comfortable, and let's dive into some of the motorcycling news and stories and that I've found interesting in the last month or two. Remember, the last live stream was in December, so it's been 2 months. Anyway, we've got, what have we got? We've got BMW breaking record sales. We've got Baggers, that's the old Road Lizards racing in Europe now. Marc Marquez freaking throwing down some serious lap times in the MotoGP testing. They're about to start racing, of course, in March. And, of course, we'll wrap things up with some Burt Munro. Burt Munro Wheat Chat, actually. Because let's be honest, that certainly was the highlight of so far of the year. And I know Steve, I'm looking forward to showing you what we got up to this year, as well as some basically what you're going to get into next year. So anyway, let's get into it. What can I say? BMW, freaking hell! They just they released the numbers, and it's good that you can hear me. That's great. Anyway, let's have a look. So BMW released the numbers. Last year they had a massive year. I think they sold 210,000 bikes or something in 2024. You know, not comparing anybody with KTM that's probably got more than that sitting in warehouses. I don't know how they got that so wrong, but anyway. BMW, there you go. It's their biggest year they ever had. 210,000 units shifted. So they're proving once again that they are the adventure bike kings. No doubt that most of those, or the biggest sellers, would have been the R1300 GS and the R1250. No surprises there, right? The GS lineup, of course, it has been the go-to choice for adventure riders that want to, you know, tour, still maybe find some dirt, and of course, all look cool doing it. Although I don't know, those bikes are pretty heavy. You know, you've got to be a bit. You've got to be a bit realistic in what you can actually do with them. But anyway, of course, Germany was their biggest market. But, you know, let's be real, man. These things are everywhere. Although, of course, they do have competition from the mid-range bikes now. You know, the Tenere 700s and Moto Morini and, of course, CF Motos getting freaking big. But anyway, last year they still had their biggest year ever. So makes me wonder whether, even though everybody talks about it, well, no, we think about it, we don't talk about it, motorbike population is aging. We're not getting the young ones through. So you'd think, well, it's kind of a dying game. Certainly in New Zealand it is, but get people, bike sales going up, and I think it's that whole baby boomer, Gen Xers like me, that are coming back to bikes. I'd like to see the stats, BMW stats, for example, on their littler bikes, their commuter type bikes, with or say their sport bikes, for example. That's such a small market, right? The old sport bikes. Now, whereas before it was probably massive, but adventure bikes, adventure riding is a big thing now. We know that. And of course, chances are, if you're looking at somebody tooling down the road with a bunch of bloody panniers on, probably a GS, or more than likely. Anyway, what do you think? I'm a bit sad about about the population of riders dropping down. Hey, Q's here. G'day, Q. Good to see all the. Yoss even made it. He's saying ciao. Yoss is. I'm going to get Yoss on. Yoss is an old schoolmate of mine. We've kept in touch over the years and had some good old times. Yoss lives in the Basque country of Spain, and spent a lot of years in London as a courier rider and driver, and then back in the 90s. So he was there and saw it when it was probably in its heyday, before the internet screwed it all up. But anyway, old Q. So Q, Ghost Grizzo now he calls himself. I always like Little Ghost myself, but as you know. But anyway, that's what he's thinking. I'd like to congratulate Q. Q has cracked over 1,000 subscribers on his channel. Massive effort, mate. Fantastic. I knew straight away when I seen that little message go out. So fantastic, Q. It's a big number to get, especially in a little old New Zealand. We're down the end of the world, and I don't think the algorithm does us any favors down here. I think certainly if you're based in the States, it's a hell of a lot easier to crack 1,000 subs, right? But Q to do that, and we're a niche, we're a pretty niche sort of corner of the internet world. So yeah, I just want to shout out and say thanks to Q and all your efforts that you made. I hope you guys have had a look at Q's website and that. He is a freaking rally guru. There's a rally, he's there, and he's got he does some pretty cool rides anyway. And the big thing, Q put a photo up the other day, Steve and Yoss, if you can hear. He had his Grizzo up to a place called the what's it called now? I've even forgotten. Too many of these. Not enough. No transparent beers today. The obelisk. So the obelisk is a very famous landmark in New Zealand. It's shaped just like old Asterix's one. It's in the middle of freaking nowhere. All adventure riders, it's a big deal if they make it to the obelisk. And Q put a photo up of him on the Grizzo with the road tyres at the obelisk. Freaking a big grin I had over my face when I saw that. So I'm sure Q doesn't even consider the fact of, I wonder if I can get there. He just goes. So pretty cool. That's it, the obelisk. Hey, and Will's here. Will and Steve will have plenty to talk about. So Will and Steve used to work together in Australia. Will lived just down the road from me, about 5 minutes. He lives in Orari. Well, you did last time there, Will. So anyway, freaking good to see. Good to see. What else has happened in the news? Oh, just while you guys are getting reacquainted. Oh yeah. So Europe has got into the bagger racing. You know, in the States they're now racing Harleys and Indians. Baggers they call them. So they have to. It's fairly loose rules, except they have to have the hard panniers on the side, the bags, I guess they want to call them. Anyway, Europe's picked it up. So you can race baggers in Europe now. And it's pretty wild, all right. The bagger racing league's coming to Europe. And if you haven't been following it in the US, it is quite cool. Harleys and Indians ripping around a racetrack like sports bikes. But now, the Europeans have taken it one further. As long as it's a bagger, doesn't matter. So they're going to have Honda Goldwings or Goldwing based. There's a bunch more bikes. It's not just Harleys and Indians. There's all the ones with cruisers with hard panniers on. They're going to be racing on it. So they're calling it the Bagger Racing League, and the guy behind it's a guy called Ruben House, and he was, of course, he was well known in MotoGP and World Superbike, and he's basically behind it, getting it all going. So, you know, it's going to be interesting. I'd say I'm not sure I'd want to take a bag to the track, you know, scraping the old freaking pegs at 20 degrees or whatever, but I don't know. We'll see. Got him in experience. So, oh no, you never worked with Will, did you? Oh, I thought you worked together. Meant for the old interwebby. Okay. Anyway, what other news I've got? Not too much news this month, apart from, of course, the Burt and Yoss is. We can get Yoss to come back in February. I'll be dragging him down there too. A freaking awesome experience, but you know, we'll talk about that in a minute. Marc Marquez, MotoGP, freaking out. I don't know what's going to happen in MotoGP this year. Well, I've got a pretty good idea. So Marc Marquez, of course, factory ride, got a bike. He's racing for Ducati now, and he's not wasting any time. That's for sure. He's and they just finished testing, and he's freaking eating everyone up. He's the only guy at Buriram, which was I think is in Indonesia. The only guy dropping into the 128s. That's of everybody. So that's pretty fast, man. That's real fast. He did it both days, which shows that obviously he's getting comfortable riding the Ducati. He's now very comfortable. Bagnaia still holds the fastest GP lap there, but Marquez is now, of course, breathing down his neck. And the interesting thing is that Ducati tested the 2024 engine and the 2025 engine, and of course all the 2025 stuff and that as well, chassis and all that sort of stuff. And the team decided they were going to stick with the 2024 engine. So the new engine, they tested both, and they went, no, we're sticking with the 2024. And they did go with some of the upgrades, tech upgrades, like, you know, chassis and stuff, 2025 chassis. But anyway, I'm just thinking if Marc Marquez was got podiums and was in the top, freaking, he didn't fall off like normal last year. He did so well that he's this year's on the best bike. I think it's going to eat them all alive. No matter what you think of him, I think he's going to eat them all alive. Yeah. Yeah, I see Jorge Martin, the world champion right now, in a testing. I think he high-sided, I think it was, wasn't it, Steve? And, yes, broke a freaking wrist. Got, like only 3 weeks until the first round, so you know, as close as it was last year with Pecco, Bagnaia, and Jorge Martin. If he didn't get any points in the first round, you know, it could be all over from the start. So But I'm picking Mark Marquez is going to freaking tear them apart. Really think so. I'm not a big fan of Mark Marquez. He's not my number one guy. I'm not a fanboy or anything like that. But recognise his riding, that's for sure. Anyway, it's going to be a freaking awesome season, you know. Marquez will be on a Ducati, and Bagnaia is going to try and get his title back. You know, I know Marquez is going to be freaking gagging for it. It's going to be a three-way race, that's for sure. And I think even the Yamaha and the Hondas were improving. So, as far as the technical side of the bikes. Anyway, if you've been following it, who's your money on for this year? Come on, man, let's hear it, you know. Oh, no. What else been happening? Yoss, you going to come over and can you get over here in early February next year? Steve's coming. Okay, the Burt Munro. That's what we're all here for, really. It would have been awesome if you made it. You would have loved it. We went down, I think we were 8 bikes. And we were 8 bikes. And we had a great ride down. We went in through the pig route, then shot down through Middlemarch, cut through Lawrence, and then we took a road that I'd seen and I knew was going to be good, and it was fantastic. And got down to the Tuapeka Mouth Ferry. That's a ferry that's like a punt. You go across a river. It was closed, but we had a break there, and then we got down to Mancave. 9 days we were away. We never got wet once. You know, for the deep south, that's a freaking record. Unreal. Yeah, I don't know. Is it work hanging you up, or is it just you got all those other rallies and stuff? I see the Vincent rally. They reckon they got 900 bikes this time, which kind of blew my mind, man. 900 to a rally these days is fantastic. And Steve's telling me that he can't get to Phillip Island this week. He just moved to another house. Hope it's a bigger garage, mate. Put a few more bikes in. Yeah, that ferry is good, isn't it, Q? Anyway, let's see if I can find some pictures. Hold on. Let me just shoot that down, shoot that up. I did some yeah, hold on. I'm being a bit. It's hard when you're trying to do everything. I can't multitask. It's hard when you're doing everything at once. But oh, here it is. Here. Oops. Over there. You over there. Anyway, there we go. So yeah. That's the Tuapeka ferry right there. Me playing with the drone. If it shoots away left or right or something like that, that's just me getting it all to grips. But yeah, the Tuapeka ferry, part of the road network. You don't pay. It's only open from 10 till 2, I think, if the flow is right. But if the flow's not right, well, you just go down the road and there's a bridge about 5k's down the road, so it doesn't matter. But it's just blooming cool. Anyway, we got there and it was closed because we got there later in the afternoon. You're about 2 hours from Invercargill here, but we'd been riding. I don't know. Maybe we'd done. I was being a bit soft, maybe, but I could have stopped there and just camped there. It was. Yeah, I'd sort of. After that, it became a grind, right? Anyway, that's the Tuapeka ferry. All right, there's one guy. I was going to put this on, but I'm going to put it on. All right, so can't see. I'll get out of the way. Anyway, we got there and it was freaking hot because the whole trip down was hot. And Steve pipes up. Steve's from the West Coast. He's got a bloody MT-09 that's a freaking beast. And he says, "Oh, how long we staying here?" And I says, "Oh, we're in no hurry. This is a good spot to take a break, And freaking hell, next thing you know, we turn around and he's in the tide, having a swim. And I must admit, I could have jumped in there myself. Actually, it was freaking good. So, yeah, that was Steve there. So, hey, Will, you haven't told us what are you riding now? You still got the CF Moto, Will? People are starting to pay attention to them now, eh? They own half of, or 40-something% of KTM as well now. They put out those, if you'd watched the December live stream, you would have seen us talking about some of their sport bikes they just put out. Wait, let's get out of here. Too much information. Old Steve will get embarrassed. That guy's name's Steve. Anyway, here's the Tourbecker Ferry. So that's the little office where the workers hang out. There's the ferry, the punt. This area here, where we're standing, you could camp there. There's freaking no houses around or anything. You could camp there. And I think next time I'd love to do that. Camp there. Anyway, that was a great freaking spot. Here it is. There's the bikes. A few of us had gone ahead, so we lost a few when here and there. Anyway, here it is. Oh, that's the car park. I'll let these run, eh? It's the car park at Slope Point. So this is the most southerly point of the South Island of New Zealand. It's right about 70 k's from Invercargill. And it was, that's just the car park. Just see where we are, and you walk down to the tide there. Roll through there, get through those. There you go, you see a bit more. Freaking road in was sealed. It used to be gravel back in the day, but it's sealed now. And freaking, I tell you what, they've sealed it for the tourists. But what an awesome road! It's just pristine condition. So, yeah, very good. Some of the bikes. Still me playing with the drone a bit. Still getting my head around it. Q, you going to get one? Bit of a learning curve. They're quite expensive, so you're sitting there worried about crashing it. But yeah, when you press automatic, you better freaking know that there's nothing in the way because it'll just fly into them. But anyway, let us know, Q. Are you going to get one? There we go. There's Temuka Bro. I think that's a is that Mac? Temuka Bro? Oh, that'd be good. Yoss, you're saying that KTM. I know they only bought MV Augusta in earlier last year, and they didn't even have it. I think they sold it before even 9 months. They didn't have it 9 months. Yeah, anyway, there's the bikes. What else have we been up to? Another nice spot. There you go. That's not Slope Point. That's another place called McCracken's Rest. It's along on the road past Riverton. All I can say is, if you get good weather down south, the roads are just freaking mind-blowing. Yep, oysters are in there. That's where the bluffies come from. Fovo Strait. You can get your hands on some of them. I love freaking, I love bluff oysters. Yeah, bluff is not. I didn't know that, but everybody goes and gets a photo taken with this, at the sign at Bluff, and they always think that's the southernmost point. It is not. I'll tell you that now. It's not the southernmost point. It is Slope Point, which I don't know. See if I can find a photo. Anyway, that's us mucking around. There's some of the old, some of the good roosters. There's Stretch. Yeah, there's Stretch right there on the left, and Kim, Michelle, Jeff, Steve, I think there. Anyway, that was about half the crew. This is the Clifton Suspension Bridge, so this is you're getting into the freaking heartland of Southland here. Neat camping ground right there. Free, you can freedom camp right next to the river. Got a small spot just for tents and stuff. Of course, that suspension bridge is just a reserve now. It's not used for traffic. It's it there. Bloody brilliant. Oh, Will's got a drone. What the hell? Tamuka Bro's got a CB500X. There you go. And Yoss is saying that we should go to the Pyrenees. Yeah, well, we should. The old bucket list just gets longer and longer, doesn't it? Yeah, I think the same. Well, there must be trout in there, that river, and there's bugger people there. I looked for fish, but it was the middle of the day. We didn't see any, but I bet you it does have. Sure. Anyway, there it is in all its glory. Fantastic. I did a video, Q, on the Burt 2 Burts ago. And this year I videoed a lot. And then I thought, I don't know if I'm going to do another video because I have done one. But what I might do is I videoed each day, getting into each event and how how it works, like the beach racing. Most people don't know you ride the bike straight on the beach and park on the beach. And so I videoed all that stuff, and then the speedway, how to get into the speedway, that little side road that they push the bikes up on. And so I thought maybe I could break it down in day by day, so you could say, okay, well, how do I get to Teretonga? What's the boom? So, yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking about it, but I don't know. As Q would tell you, there's a lot more effort goes into videos than people think, And I sort of get, I don't know, my attention span wanes after a while. If I can't punch it out in a couple of hours, yeah, I tend to. Right. What else we got going on? It's good to see Tamuka Bro. Now, I know Tamuka Bro. Can you just put in the comments there a bit about yourself, mate, so that everyone knows who you are? We've got, just so you know, Tamuka Bro, Ghost Grizzo. He's a good rooster from up near Oxford and that. And he rides a Grizzo, funnily enough. Steve is in Melbourne, and he's a Ducati guy from way back, but he rides anything goes. So that was the other thing, Steve. I thought I'd explain how the Burt works. You buy your tickets in advance, which means you just have to pull it out when you get to the gate and hand it over and you go through. So it's a quicker way. And you get a small discount if you buy bulk. So say you buy for 4 or 5 events, you get a little discount. But the problem is, if the weather's shite and they cancel it, tough. Not that they've cancelled anything really, but And then if your plans change, say we say, well, you know what, I don't really want. No one else wants to go see the hill climb. We don't do the hill climb at all. And it's like, well, you know, if you haven't bought a ticket, it doesn't matter, you know. Mooka Bro was out at Slope Point on that day. Now you've got me thinking now. Okay, I'm lost for words. I thought Tamika Bro was someone else, but we know who it is now. I'm pretty sure, except I can't pull up the. Okay, let me have a look. Anyway, I'm not worried about it. Right. I think Tamika Bro's laughing at me. Yeah, I reckon play it by ear, Steve. It just gives you some flexibility, you know. But saying that, I know everything I want to see before we go down, so. Yeah, okay, I know who Tamika Bro is. Anyway, yeah, just play it by ear because there's, I know everything I want to see, which is pretty much everything except for the hill climb, as I said. So let's see if we can find Tamika Bro. Oh, there's all those ones. Here we go. There's a bit of motley crew there. It's on the west coast. So after the Burt, a few of us took the long way home. And this is going up the west coast. Freaking stunning ride. We did 2 days. So we went to Milford Sound in and out. And then we went up the coast to Greymouth. Spent the night at Steve's place. And what else have we got? Oh, there you go. First stop of the trip, Stanley Pub at McRae's. They're right next to the gold mine. Getting quite warm, so everyone's looking for the shade, but it's early in the day, so I don't think we get a beer or anything. Bikes. Stopping for a leg stretch and look at the view. Pretty dry there, considering the rest of the place is bloody green. So there was a chap, Paul. So that's Kim's brother. That's him there, middle, standing up. So Kim come from England originally, been out here forever, and his brother was in Canada. He's been there forever. And anyway, he came out and they clocked up about 3,500 Ks before we even got to the Burt. They went everywhere they could in the 3 weeks that he was here. So, good guy. That's us stopping. They're still on the way down the Burt. I think it was our lunch break in Outram little place. There's a really good road where we were with all the rocks there before. Just there's no traffic. I think we sent 3 cars all freaking morning. It was in the roads just in good nick because hardly anybody goes on it, right? So very good road. Anyway, it's us having lunch. There's the line up. Recognise some profiles there. This is the accommodation. So people don't realise at the Burt you can go to the rally site, sleep in a tent for however long you're going to be at the Burt, because the Burt activities go for about 5 or 6 days. So you can go to the rally site, which is right next to the racetrack and the speedway, and you can have the live music and everybody else there pissing it up every night, yahooing, and probably great for one night, but I don't know. Q, could you do 4 nights there? You like the music and you like the beers and that, of course, but problem is down there, it normally rains, so you end up freaking in mud. And then nobody stops. Well, there's people partying until 3 or 4 in the morning. I don't think you get much sleep there. You'd be more worried about some guy freaking plowing through your tent on his bike at 3 in the morning, pissed, But anyway, so we have this accommodation where we want to be quiet and have an early night. We just toddle off to bed. So we get all these units here, and plus the one behind. And we have this inner courtyard thing. We just all park up there, and we have sort of one main unit behind. It's slightly bigger kitchen area. And that's where we sort of meet up in the evenings and stuff and go from there, really. So, yeah, it's pretty, I don't know, it's pretty good. But very comfortable there. And of course, we do our laundry and all that, and we've got internet and all that sort of stuff. Will says that East Coast Power Sports, which is the Can-Am people in Timaru, have just traded a fancy Ducati. I'll have to go down and have a look. Yeah, I really like this place. This is 3 years in a row we've had it, and it's great. Everyone's got their own space. So basically a double room where anybody takes their missus down or whatever, and then there's twin rooms in each one. Each one, they're all identical, really. You've got TV, internet, washing machines, all that stuff. And the pub, you can walk to the pub down that way. 3-minute walk. And there's a supermarket and a gas station that way. Too many beers. About 3 minutes down the road. So it's a freaking awesome spot. And it's really close to where all the racing and that is. Yeah, no, it is good, Q. So I like it a lot. Or Steve reckons that he could do the whole week at the campsite. Oh, yeah, good. That's good. Bad. Right on. Let's jump ahead. Here's the drags. So the first activity we went to was the drags, and the twilight drags. They have them in the evening. I've never ever been to a drag meeting before in my life, car or bike. And there was a couple of cars there, proper drag cars and drag bikes. But pretty much anybody could rock up. They check your helmet, make sure you got gloves and riding gear on, and you can go. So you weren't, it was good. Yeah, no, it was quite interesting. Of course, obviously, I'm right there at the start line or whatever they call it. I don't know. Well, no, you'll have to tell Will that you're coming down. Don't know yet. There we go. Here's some more of the. More of the racing. These things. So these are quad bikes. They're they got Hasebawa engines in them, Hasabusa engines in them, and they were also on the. They change the tires out and then go ride them on the beach racing in the sand. Freaking unreal. Crazy things, Yeah, no, very cool. Here's some of the cars. Freaking awesome car, that one. And there was an Escort. I don't know if I got any photos of the Escort, but there it is. That thing was through the roof. Yeah, really cool. Here we go. So here, the day 2 of the Burt. The beach racing wasn't until 2 o'clock in the afternoon because it depends on the tides when they have. They need a low tide, so they've got beach room to race on the beach. So last year it was 6 p.m. was beach racing started. This year it was 2 p.m. So in the morning there was a bike shop called Motorcycles, and they're the Indian agents for Indian in the south. So they put on an organised ride, and they had, I don't know, over 100 bikes, or between 100 and 200 bikes, and we did it, and it was interesting. You know, they've got blockers to block off at the big intersections, and you just cruise right through in a big group. That was cool, but because there's so many bikes, they couldn't really go very fast, so you spent most of the time sitting on 80 k's. And they had a barbecue at the end, which was actually a really good barbecue. It wasn't just dirty old snags and bread. It was it was a proper well catered event actually. Yeah. Oh, that's just it. There we go. Where are we there? Oh, that's it. That's it. That's at one of the lookouts. This is the lookout. This is not the southernmost point or anything like that. This is just one of the lookouts. Awesome beaches, stuff there, you know. Looking. Oh, this is us resting somewhere. There you go. Can't see if you read it. Groper's Bush Public Library. Had to stop there for a photo. You know, there's all for your benefit there, Steve, so you can see what goes on. Speedway. So another day. There's Speedway in the afternoon. Sidecars and solos. The full program. Classic or vintage solos as well, and solo and vintage sidecars. They got the kids on the little bikes in the middle. Good. That was a spot on the way to Lake Manapuri. Want a photo of? This is after the racing. This is on the way to Milford Sound. A beautiful, beautiful spot. 114 k's in and 114 k's out. Get in the road. But when you get there, freaking awesome. The campsite that we had on the way after the Burt heading home. Monica, there's Steve on the left from the West Coast, Stretch in the middle, myself, of course. Trying to make this interesting and not like some sort of family slideshow, you know. Pub where the boys waited for us, and it's not on the main street on Middle March, but anyway, we missed them. There you go. Proof that the bike got to Milford Sound. That's a real famous hill in the middle. It's me and Stretch. Oh no, that's not me and Jeff and Michelle at Tiratonga. That's at the circuit racing, which is probably my favourite day. I don't know. The circuit racing and the beach racing are my favourites. Yeah, I reckon queued a lot of internationals, Aussies and that, and Americans you saw. Yeah, you've seen them a lot. Quite a few people down there. This is on the way down. Of course, that's not Napara. Hugh, have you been through there, Napara, up the back of Oamaru? It's a nice ride. Coast, there's a campsite. Yeah, all the... Get rid of that. Are we bored? Bored yet? Beach racing. Let's go to the beach racing. What do we got there? We've got any beach racing? Put it in there. I'm sure I had beach racing. why don't we see those ones? Beach racing, there you go. There's our crowd at the beach racing. I've been through there once. Yeah, there's quite a few roads back there, Q. Quite a few roads back of Oamaru. You can pop out at Western, or you can pop out further down at Five Rivers. And pop out the south of just before Herbert, actually, Ahino. And nice roads. But anyway, here's the beach racing. Of course, you get up on the sand dune and watch the bikes. You park out on the sand and hope that it's nice and packed. A little bit loose this year, but funny getting in and out, but we made it. Slope Point, we made it. There it is. Get Yoss there one day. I bet Yoss ain't been there yet. Get him there. It's all right, you eat up, Steve. Don't know who's left. Says we've got 4 viewers, so it'll be Q, Steve, maybe Will, maybe Yoss. Are they still there, Yoss? And where we were there. There we go. The Motley Crew. Part of them anyway. Can't get past the... Maybe put... Maybe just put some... There we go. Put some road on. That's pretty much the Burt. I mean, yeah. There's a whole lot more I could talk about with the Burt. But a lot of people go there. Of course, it's the same week every February, first weekend of February. People from all over New Zealand and beyond, of course, head to Invercargill. So, like I say, there's 5 or 6 days of racing. Got hill climb, twilight drags, beach racing. You've got a track day if you want to at Teretonga. Got the first round of superbikes at Teretonga. You've got the beach racing, hill climb, speedway, and of course it's all yeah, just and in between, of course, you go and do rides and stuff because there's so much good riding down there. Yeah, it's just a great week. Yeah, it's probably the best. Yeah, it is the best celebration of motorcycle culture in New Zealand for sure. So yeah, that's it pretty much. What other bits of news? Zero Motorcycles. There's a brand of motorcycles called Zero Motorcycles, electric motorbikes. Some guys drove around the world on an electric motorbike to show you can do it. Well, the freaking bike died at 5,000 Ks. I can put a link in the comments below if you want to have a look. But the guys at the electric engine shat itself at 65,000 Ks. And he's trying to limp it to China to hope that the Chinese will know more than pretty much anyone else about how to fix it. But Zero Motorcycles left basically just freaking washed their hands of them, left them to it, left them in the lurch. So, I don't know what's going to happen there with that guy. Go. Don't know. electric bikes for you. I don't know. I'm a different generation for me. Oh, yeah, that's the other thing too. If you're thinking about getting a Cardo, 22% sale I've got on. It's running out last few days. It's on the website, so it's online sales, 22% off. That's a pretty good deal. You've been putting off buying one because of the price. Well, there you go. Yeah, that's that dude riding in China. Yeah. Well, maybe they had gone bust. That's why they that's why they didn't fix his bike. He was gutted about it, eh? Yeah. I mean, I'm not a big zero. I'm not an electric bike guy. I'm just the wrong generation, but yeah, they left him in the lurch. This is before he got to China. He was on his way. He was in some other random country, and he figured if he could get to China, that they basically know all that electric tech that maybe they could get sorted from. But they basically, I think Zero told him, they're going to have to replace the engine if he wanted it. It was going to cost stupid money to get one. So, but yeah, they pretty much abandoned him. Anyway, so there you have it. BMW is selling like freaking hotcakes, baggers in Europe now. And Marquez, I think he's going to freaking clean it up, eh? I don't know. Oh, we're getting close now to still a way away from Q, but we're getting close to 500 subscribers. So just any of your riding mates that aren't subscribed yet, just push them this way, and they'll be in the draw. Of course, I'll try and do a pretty big giveaway at 500 subscribers. So, and that's coming up. It'll be pretty quick. I think we're less than 20 away now from 500. So, yeah. You following those electric bikes, Steve? Don't know. Anyway, team, we got anything else? Anybody else got anything else going? Just put down in the comments. Yeah, thanks, Q. Oh, yeah. Still enjoy doing it, so it'll be good to see it grow a bit more. Have more good roosters like you guys coming on every month. This is probably the funnest part, to be honest, Q. This is probably the funnest part of the whole channel was live stuff for you guys. I was going to say, Sound of Thunder this weekend, Christchurch. I think it's getting close to 40th anniversary now. Sound of Thunder. I raced it back in the day, back in the late 80s, early 90s. So back then, European manufacturers were pretty much way behind the Japanese, and so we had our own Sound of Thunder, which was no Japanese bikes at all. So it was Harleys, British stuff, Italian stuff. And we just raced ourselves and had a good old time because we weren't competitive really with the Japanese stuff. And then back then, of course, obviously things have changed now. And freaking hell, it's like almost 40th anniversary this weekend. I'm going up on Sunday. A couple of the boys. I've rolled out one of my special bikes. I'll do a few pics. But the other thing too is what I was saying was you mentioned Q if I'm gonna do any videos of the Burt. Put down in the comments if you think I should do a day by day breakdown of how you get there and what happens in that? Like a guide type deal? I don't know. Yeah, see, that's right. Used to race, and I would have thought that would have been like your first race meeting. Would have been the Sound of Thunder. They got clubman's class and all that to help people get going. There was a beautiful bike in the North Island. I don't know what it was based on. It could have been based on a Grizzo. The guy got all those Brian Gazzini, or whatever his name was, bodywork and kits put on it. And he was trying to sell it there a few years ago. He wanted like 30 grand for it as track day bike, and I thought, you got that and then spent 30 grand on the engine, would you be competitive? Like the old Guzzy British ones that you race. Fantastic to see those things. You know the one I'm talking about, the Guzzy, the British one. Steve, you might know too. But I tell you, Steve, Paul Lewis used to race. Paul Lewis raced against the Britons. Real famous race. And he was freaking riding the pants off that thing. It was a great freaking race. The Britons were just playing a bit, I think. They certainly had the handling on him, but and he retired with electrical problem. Electrical problem. Anyway, team, gonna try and get Steve on next year or next month, or Yoss. You still there, Yoss? Not saying much if you are. We'd like to get Yoss on and share some stories from the old Courier days in London. It must have been freaking mad. For us, Steve, give us the lowdown on riding culture in Oz and what's happening there, especially in South Australia. Great. And Will, when are we going to ride together again, mate? Come on, it's been a couple of years. All right, team, time to go. Glad you guys had a good time. I'm going to have to catch up with you live at some stage, mate. Come on. We have to make it happen. Steve's coming to the Burt next year, so we've got that to look forward to for sure. That's right, mate. I had 2 or 3 before I actually turned this on so I'm batching it at the moment. The old missus is away. Gone back to the motherland for a while. So yeah, see, Will's retired, mate. Oh, you'll hear me. You must hear me going past your place every now and again, Will. Although I've definitely buttoned off now that they changed the speed limit. All right, guys. Bloody good to be talking to you again. Like as I said, this is the most favourite part for me of the whole channel, and really appreciate you guys all coming on and talking and stuff. I hope we cover stuff that you're interested in, and we have a good old chat and a chin wag. Hopefully catch up with most of you live sometime soon. And if not, I'll catch you in next month's live stream. Doing Top of the South. I'm trying to squeeze that in, Q. I know I've talked about it. Top of the South. You know where I'm talking. And can't remember the name of the river. Inaturi River or something. Take care, guys. Catch you next month. Thanks for dropping in.